Tohle je vlastně taková zlomová chvíle v tomhle let's play, protože teď se dostaneme mnohem dál, než jsme se dostali posledně. Je to vlastně takovej ten, kdo to říkal v Pánovi prstenů. Ještě jeden krok a budu nejdál od domova, jak jsem kdy byl. Takže ještě jeden krok a budeme v tomhle let's play nejdál, jak jsme kdy byli. Takže jdeme na to. Tudy jdeme k hradu a tam nás čeká další dobrodružství. Musíme si dát pozor na fantoma. Hej, tyjo, na tebe jsem úplně zapomněl, čeče. Víte co, já ještě takhle to savenu. Castle na zabití.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice.
Tak, super. Tenhle ten pán hlídá tady tu velkou hromadu balíků a my ho potřebujeme vystrnadit. Tak, proklepneme nějaký známý témata.
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Do you think Pegram's disappearance is due to the curse?
Look at the facts. He dug up the gem. He disappeared. Bingo. It doesn't take a degree in mathematics to work that one out, does it? You don't have to be a smarty Pythagoras with a calculator.
I guess not.
Pegram has run off with the gem.
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
No, tak to bylo easy. Ani jsme nemuseli moc přemlouvat.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
OK, zdá se mi ten boss jsou všichni Irové takový nějací prostě fakeři a zvláštní. Když tak vezmu, tak ta hra není vůbec jako politicky korektní, tyjo. Z Francouzů to dělá hlupáky, kromě Nikolu samozřejmě. Z Irčanů vlastně taky. Ne, tudy to nepůjde, musíme nahoru po tom balíku. Já vám to jenom ukázal, abyste viděli, jak to vypadá.
Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to start working out.
Tak, zkusíme vylézt na tu potenciálně nebezpečnou a vražednou hromadu balíků, kterou jsem naskládal Fitzgerald ještě předtím, než srazilo Ferrari. Tak, go, go. Jsme tam, vypadá to, že to drží.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Tak, tam se nedostaneme. Aspoň ne takhle easy peasy. Naštěstí máme naše francouzské zařízení ve tvaru T a tady máme díru.
I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
Naprosto ideální, tyjo. Francouzská ocel a irská zeď. Dostanou amerického turistu do hradu Lochmern. Jsme tam, jupí. Tak co, teď nás čeká setkání s fantomem. Tak se nelekněte. Vypadá naprosto strašně ten kozel jen tak mezi námi. A kozel nás bude lehce trápit teďka. Já si úplně přesně nepamatuju, jak to bylo. Takže budem chvilinku laborovat, jo. Tak, prvně prokouknem kozla.
It was the fiercest, meanest looking old goat I'd ever laid eyes upon.
Tady tohle je cesta k těm vykopávkám.
The top of a ladder rose out of the squarely dug hole.
A tady tohle je nějaký, co to je? Vypadá to jako něco na rozbíjení hrud, co se tahalo za koněm.
It was a rusted piece of iron, maybe part of a plow or something.
Jo, možná pluh radličky. Tak, každopádně, my když se pokusíme jít sem... Bác. Tak, super. Ho. Už se chytil, tyjo, tak to bylo easy peasy. Super, super. Já jsem viděl, že se s tím má něco udělat. Tady s tím plem se má jak posunout, ale neviděl jsem přesně kdy, každopádně se nám to povedlo zavčas. Ono je potřeba, hned jak vás srazí, kliknout na ten pluh a George tam rychle přeběhne, jinak vás ten kozel prostě bude neustále trkat a vy se neposunete nikam. Tak kozle, jsem rád, že seš tady uvázaný a já můžu pokračovat. A jak jsem říkal v minulém díle, vezmu do další vlhké díry. Tahle je ale zajímavá. Kuk. Super. No, tohle je sklepení hradu Lochmern. Máme tady pár věcí. Máme tady toto. Tady nějaký rytíř. Máme tady ten mechanismus, všimněte si těch dírek. A tady nějaká soška. Všimněte si, ta soška má tady vzadu takové výstupky. Ono to není moc dobře vidět, ale má je tam. Zkusíme sošku vzít. Too heavy.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
To se nepovedlo, ale to nevadí. My ji zvedneme. No tak. Super.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
S tím by se dalo pracovat. Všimněte si, že to rozložení tady z těch otvorů a vlastně těch bodů je úplně stejný jako rozložení otvorů tady. Tady s tím musíme něco udělat. Tady máme... Co pak to asi je?
The sack contained a fine white powder.
Koks! Šňupnem si.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was.
Koks.
Plaster of Paris.
Sakra.
I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Dobře, takže žádný šňupání nebude, ale to nevadí, protože my použijeme sádru tady sem. Takhle pěkně z výšky, ty.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Nádhera. A teď si vezmeme trochu rezové irské vody, kterou jsme si namočili do ručníčku. A sádru namočíme.
I squeezed the towel as hard as I could, but it was barely damp.
Ale, to je mírná komplikace, tyjo. Že by nám to trvalo příliš dlouho. OK, jsem zpět. Co jsem udělal, bylo, že jsem zaběhl zpátky do hospody, do sklepa a namočil jsem tady ten ručník ještě jednou. Takže pomohlo to? Yes, please. Tak prostě nám uschl ručníček. Tak, vezmeme tady ten odlitek, který jsme udělali.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Nádhera. Dáme ho sem. Kam jinam?
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Nádhera. Tak, ve vlhké díře je další vlhká díra, takže jdeme tam? Člověk přece nemůže odolat. Máme baterku, výborně. To nám krásně zapadá do sebe. No to byl ale rychlý střih teda.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah. Some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Pegram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pegram's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
I've been reading about Pegram in this magazine.
The media got its claws on him.
Yeah, if I was his agent, I'd get him to lose the pipe.
That dig must have been pretty important to him. He resigned his chair at Durham University to go to Ireland. And now he's disappeared. See what you can find out about Professor Pegram.
I'll speak to the university. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Musíme zjistit, kdo nebo co je Montfaucon. Takže já nevím, zkusíme ještě proklepnout Pegrama.
What do you know about Professor Pegram?
I've seen a television program, Pegram's Past. He's written a book, The Crusader Families of Ireland.
Zajímavý. Mohli bychom se kouknout na náš pergamen.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
No a už tady máme další témata.
That's the tripod in the Croon Museum. That's the gem that Pegram found in Loch Marne.
OK. Co tady to? Tady to vypadá jako to, kde byl obvěšený ten chlápek.
The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
OK, dobře, tak. Tady to asi moc nezjistíme.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
OK.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinot at the Croon Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
OK, takže máme 2 lokace, které bychom měli navštívit. Tou první je muzeum. Tam bychom mohli najít Lobinoa. A tou druhou je policejní stanice, kde bychom mohli prokecnout inspektora Rossu. A já mám nutkání jít prvně do muzea. Airport, nic nového tady nemáme, takže muzea Green. A jdeme na to. Jo, podívejte, už je tady. To je Lobino.
I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobino?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Shoot. Tak, víš, co by mě zajímalo? Zajímalo by mě tohle.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
No výborně, takže víme, co byl Montfaucon. Teďka kde byl Montfaucon?
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
No jo, tyjo, sakra, to je prostě normální. Revoluce, tyjo, a hnedka strhávají šibenice a sochy a takovýhle.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud.
Nice. No a co nám řekneš o svitku?
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of 2 men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Ah, Nicole.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend, who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Hej, s ním běžte do Nicole, čeče, jak ti zlámu nohy. Co víš o
Can
templářích?
you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The king of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
OK, takže to byla taková vzdělávací vložka. Co nám řekneš o diamantu?
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Fajn, co ti říká jméno Khan?
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
No. Merlin asi taky ne.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
OK, dobře. Tak, myslím si, že nás Lobino posunul kousek dál směrem k tomu místu, kde byla ta šibenice, kterou jsme viděli na obrázku ve sklepení hradu. Trošku mě znervozňuje, že tím tématem našeho rozhovoru je ta trojnožka, protože tu my musíme získat. Pokud si pamatujete, tak na tom svitku je ta trojnožka a na ní stojí tady ten diamant a něco nám to ukazuje, takže to bude velmi klíčový. Ale teď se půjdeme podívat na místo, kde stává Montfaucon. No a André by mezi tím měl navštívit Nicole a zjistit něco víc o tom našem pergamenu.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Tak, let's go out. Koukneme se, jestli máme novou lokaci. Tak, to je takový mrtvý místo, který George strašně dlouho přechází. A není k tomu moc co říkat, takže šup, šup, whip, whip. A, paráda. Tady je Montfaucon. Takže směrem na Montfaucon. Marš. Super, nádhera. Tady nějaký policista. Kouknu se, kavárnička francouzská. Tyjo. Tam se radši sedat nebudeme, nebo nás někdo vybombí zase. Krásná kašna. A tam nahoru, pokud se nepletu, se dostaneme dovnitř chrámu, tak tam jenom se tam nakoukneme. Ale myslím si, že už se pomalinku blížíme ke konci, že už tady ten díl je dost dlouhý. Jo. Tady je chrám, kde jsou pohřbení, co? Jsou to templáři? Asi ne, co? Nějací králové. A tady takový krásný okno vykládaný vitráží. A to nám, myslím si, něco řekne. Tady. Ale o tom, co nám to řekne, o tom se přesvědčíme až v příštím díle. Já vám pro tuto chvíli moc děkuji za pozornost. Pokud se vám to líbilo, tak víte, jak to je s palcem nahoru, s palcem dolů. Každopádně se mějte fajn, hrajte a uvidíme se. Zatím čau.